At least to me, this is one of the funniest stories of the week. So, in the aftermath of Kamala Harris losing the US presidential election to Donald Trump, the left, both in the US as well as around the world, has just started declaring that they're leaving Twitter X. There's too much free speech around here, so we're leaving. Guys, do you realize that you are already becoming culturally irrelevant? I invite you to leave to make sure that nobody cares what you guys have to say. Remember when the right started creating alternative social media platforms? That was done almost out of an involuntary need. You had a lot of conservatives, a lot of people on the right who were being kicked off of Twitter back when there was a lot of censorship on it. And because they weren't allowed back on, you couldn't just make a new account. You just get auto banned if they found out it is you. You had to go join places like Parler and other outlets. And now what we have is the left, because there is the ability to speak freely, moving over to Blue Sky, a platform with nobody using it. Yes, apparently, according to their Wikipedia page, they have 15.2 million registered users. Cool. I'm pretty sure Parler had way more than that at one point. It didn't matter because nobody really wanted to be there. The thing with social media is it lacks any value if you can't, in theory, connect with everyone on it. That's why X works. That's why Facebook works. That's why other social media sites work. If you want to have a micro social media network, that's called a forum. We've had them since the 90s. You can go and join your Antifa of Portland forum and talk to the people around your local area, but you're not going to be able to start a new social media company out of nothing, no necessity for it to exist, and be able to turn it into an effective cultural tool. There are so many people, and I'm mostly talking about Canada here. So if you're an American, welcome. But I'm talking about Canadian, lefty activists online, as well as politicians who are just self-selecting themselves to start to fall into irrelevancy. They are just going to basically censor themselves, start talking only to a tiny echo chamber, and they are going to continue to wonder why they are losing the youth. Maybe it's because you refuse to connect with them unless it's on your exact terms. And this is exactly what it is. They don't want speech to happen unless it happens on their terms. X is way more free speech than Twitter used to be before Elon Musk bought it. There are some very awful people on X who get to speak freely. And guess what? There's actually a lot of utility in that because you can't hide your views when no one's going to drop the ban hammer on you for saying it. Obviously, you'll get banned for like harassing someone like hour after hour, or if you're inciting violence directly, obviously. But it's actually exposed a lot of people for being really nasty because they can't make the excuse, well, I'm not going to say what I think because I'll get banned. You're not going to get banned. Just say it. And it has exposed so many grifters and so many terrible people like Andrew Tate from them just being given a megaphone to expose themselves. Yes, they have more followers than ever, but there's fewer people who respect them than ever as well. So let's just go down this little path of looking at some of these people who genuinely actually had social media traction who are now just kneecapping themselves. Here's this Callum guy that I highlighted on the show a few days ago who has now left Twitter. He's sort of staying on, but he started this Blue Sky account so he can go and talk to maybe the 25 other people who are in Calgary and on the left like him. But this isn't going to do him any favors. It's just going to mean that he's splitting his time between Twitter, and he even labeled himself a Twitter refugee, so I assume that's indicating he's going to stop using this platform so much. How is he going to grow his YouTube channel? His only traction was on X, to give him some credit. He had some decent traction on X. His YouTube channel has like 115 subscribers, and his videos get like 5 views. He's not going to prosper on this tiny pool. Anyways, we have Cult MTL here, Cult Montreal, which has this headline that's related to free speech being very bad on X. The headline is Pure Poly of rage baiting and empty slogans aren't what Canadians need. And then there is this quote here from the article saying, we are being conned on a mass scale, and it's downright alarming how powerful social media platforms like X are allowing Russian-made propaganda to weaponize anger and fear to influence public opinion in our democracies. Russian-made propaganda. Have you guys been noticing a lot of Russian-made propaganda around? Maybe it's just me, but I'm not seeing any. And Cult MTL pretending like people are being conned because there is bad information on X. It's not like they're fighting bad information. Cult MTL is a repository of bad information. They're an outlet who every single time they can kind of squint and see a bad poll number out for pure Poilievre, they pretend that Poilievre is the most unpopular politician in Canada, despite the fact that they will always ignore Trudeau having bad numbers too, because it is a liberal propaganda outlet. Here's the Alberta NDP, the Alberta New Democratic Party leader, Naheed Nenshi, saying, "It's hard to dream small with a blue sky this big." New account, and he links his blue sky account on his X page. Even if he stays on X and he keeps posting, this is a great strategy to make sure you are culturally irrelevant, because you will have some hardcore NDP people who start exclusively following him, and Blue Sky deletes their X account and they just start using Blue Sky. He'll have like 1,500 followers there or whatever, and those people will have zero reach because they will only be stuck in a tiny echo chamber where they talk to themselves. They are not going to talk to anyone who is not already on board with the Alberta NDP. And then his X account is going to start floundering because now he's not getting an automatic 800 likes and 65 retweets on everything he posts, because all those people are on Blue Sky just cycling the same information over and over again between themselves. Justin Ling here, and he literally has made his profile name Justin Ling, has left because apparently it's so bad on X right now. Justin Ling says, "For the past year, I've been sharing links on this bad place, but now that the exodus to Blue Sky is in full swing, I'm going to stop. If you want to keep up with my work, follow me on Substack or Blue Sky. Goodbye." I thought also Substack was supposedly a bad place because they allowed people like Barry Weiss and others on the right to just say whatever they wanted. But I guess those are fine because the real villain right now is X. Okay, thanks, Justin. You're still relevant. All these people just have no relevancy. And I don't even, here's a guy I don't even exactly dislike on the left. Jesse Brown. He's been standing up to a lot of the anti-Semites on the left, and I think doing a pretty good job about it. But now I see Jesse Brown making a very big category error to what the problem on social media is. He says, "I've moved over to Blue Sky. After October 7th, I began using this account as a place to keep track of the rise of anti-Semitism in Canada. I'll keep doing that here. Maybe it'll be a useful resource, a timeline of what's been happening." Jesse, baby, you're going to be shifting from X to Blue Sky with all of the lefty anti-Semites, because the vast majority of anti-Semitism these days has been coming from the progressive left. Yes, every once in a while you have some guy like Dan Balzerian or whatever saying that the Holocaust was fake, but everyone mostly just points and laughs at him on X, and everyone just doesn't take him seriously anymore. He's moving over with all the respectable anti-Semites who go on Blue Sky, and they'll be making up misinformation about Israel and suspecting that every Jewish person is secretly compromised the way Ilhan Omar tries to stealthily accuse people of. Anyways, here's The Guardian, and this isn't a Canadian example, but it's just funny. Why The Guardian is no longer posting on X. Nobody cares? Their reasoning, and I already know what it is that there's extremism allowed on X. Was there not extremism allowed on Twitter before Elon Musk bought it? The whole criticism of the right was that this is really unfair because while, yes, people on the right can say bad things, the problem is people on the left can equally say bad things, and Twitter would allow all of the pro-terror apologia while it was not owned by Elon Musk. And when it started being owned by Elon Musk, people can say whatever they want and expose themselves, but we're not going to ban anybody arbitrarily because we don't like that type of extremism, but we're okay with this one. I'm okay with no types of extremism, but it doesn't help to ban people to get control of it. This is just me making fun of Creek Pete, who has now privated his X account in the aftermath of the exodus to Blue Sky. And I said, it's finally happening. The liberal cheerleaders on social media are censoring themselves and moving to the irrelevant lefty echo chamber, Blue Sky. They got tired of being corrected after blindly promoting anything the liberals did and naysaying the conservatives. Again, funny thing is, Creek Pete is someone who actually had traction on X. People would promote his videos. He would retweet them promoting his videos. He got a lot of juice out of X. His TikTok account is not very popular. He's irrelevant on places like YouTube and other social media platforms. So he is now just eliminating all relevancy he has by moving onto a platform where nobody cares who he is because everyone already knows him. They already watch his stuff. And what's the point of even following the guy when you're already following him on TikTok or whatever? There's no one new to promote yourself to in an echo chamber. It is a private club. You don't have to advertise yourself in a private club. Here we go to this one's really funny. Thanks for Marty up north for highlighting this. The Alberta NDP deputy leader is leaving X. She's retreating to a small echo chamber. Yeah, so Ranky Pacioli, for the Alberta New Democratic Party leader, is literally not even just using both, which would already hurt her reach. She's just leaving X. This is my last post on X. This space has become increasingly unsafe and toxic over the past 2 years, and I am done. You can continue to find me on the other social media sites, and you can reach me in my formal capacities as MLA by email and phone, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, at Ranky Pacioli. Blue Sky, Blue Sky, whatever her thing is, better is possible with a commie fist or whatever. Keep going, guys. Nobody cares. My goodness. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Yes, there are 15 million people using Blue Sky. I think there's like 500 million people using X or registered users. Registered users does not mean activity. There's probably more than 10 million people who use Truth Social who are signed up on it, mostly just for Trump's tweets. And if anything, you could argue there's a reason to use Truth Social because you will see Trump's posts first. What's the person you're following on Blue Sky that you desperately need to hear from? No one. There's no draw for Blue Sky. It's not exactly like they found some big creators to move over first and create exclusive content. You're going to have a lot of people who are doing both, where they're just cross-posting, which means that there's no point to follow them on Blue Sky. And then you're going to have a small minority of people who only post on Blue Sky, and nobody cares. Remember that, wasn't there one called like Megadon or Megalodon that was also a lefty site, like a new social media alternative to X because X was so bad, and then it quickly turned into like a place for a lot of illegal content because they had no moderation for certain things, but you would get banned for being negative, and it like got taken over by like weirdos and furries or whatever. It's going to happen with Blue Sky too. The left, when they take over a space and they have too much power, just start eating each other. They start attacking people because they have a quota for how many people they cancel a day. When the right's gone from their social media, they're just going to start canceling each other. And again, they're nasty people on X. I don't like Andrew Tate. I don't like Candace Owens. Nasty people. It's been great that they've had a megaphone because I think they've fully, completely destroyed themselves. Yes, Candace Owens has one of the biggest podcasts in the world. A lot of people, I suspect, listen to it because it's just kind of like TLC type content. She's constantly getting into fights with people. There's drama, all that stuff. But the lady could probably never actually get elected to a public office ever again. She's never tried, but I'm just saying if she tried to, way too many people know she's a nutcase now because she talked too much and she kept following social media trends. That is maybe one thing you could say that's a problem with X. People are incentivized to post things to get attention. But that's always been social media. I'm not sure when that's changed. Well, anyways, though, that's it for me today, guys. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like this video, do all that great stuff. I'll see you guys some other time, but I won't see you guys on Blue Sky. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be getting an account. I know it's a cool space full of cool people, but I prefer X and Facebook and YouTube and places where people actually are. Anyways, see you guys later.